You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Todd Richards here, Roots, Hearts,
and Soul.
You are listening to Roots, Heart, and
Soul. Yeah,
Roots,
baby.
Heart, and Soul podcast.
Stephan and I are launching this podcast based off cookbook Roots, Heart, and Soul by myself, Todd Richards, with a great help from Chef Stephan.
We're going to be hearing stories from Africa all the way to the Caribbean, all the way to the Americas. It's going to be something special.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
It is a Tuesday before Halloween. You know,
Tuesday before Halloween.
a day to be alive, my friend.
What do you know about what do you know about Halloween?
What do I know about Halloween?
What do you know? I mean, it's a commercial holiday in the U.S. But what do you know the story behind Halloween?
I know that it's good to have insurance benefits at the end of the year because the kids ate candy for minimum 7 days, more like 14.
Minimum 7 days, huh?
Right. You know.
You're funny.
Oh man.
So in many Caribbean, Latin countries, it's the celebration of the dead. Okay, and
right.
and of course in New Orleans as well. Okay, it's the November 1st. Well, Halloween, I think, is the date for Halloween is October 31st, right?
October 31st. That is correct. That
right.
is Friday night.
Right. Yeah. And November 1st is the celebration of the Day of the Dead. The celebration, you know, it's a huge celebration. It has direct correlation with the African beliefs of voodoo that came from Benin. Okay, and when the slave trade came to the Caribbean, specifically in Haiti. Haiti is where voodoo is most celebrated, and then of course some of it spilled to New Orleans as well.
I mean, it's going to be one of those weekends when you have these type of days, especially how it affects restaurant business, how it affects stores. We'll talk about that here. Well, let's do it right, my friend. Welcome everyone to Roots, Heart, and
Soul, baby, and Soul.
Roots, Heart, Soul podcast. Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan. We're here on Heritage Radio Network. We're welcoming all our friends.
All of our friends, our supporters, our listeners. We want to thank you for always joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As always, that is how you get to support us. And for us to continue this amazing podcast, episode, I forgot.
Come on.
I forgot.
Oh,
I forgot, man. I think we're almost 50.
This is 49. Next one is 50.
See, what did I tell you?
Absolutely.
See, what did I tell you? See, we're almost 50.
Yes,
we're almost part of the 50 club.
Absolutely, yeah.
So so that's a big celebration. This big celebration in Haiti. I know it's a big celebration in many Latin and other Caribbean countries, including Mexico. Huge celebration, huge cultural celebration as well.
Well, the thing that I want you to really expound on though is really that cross key of Haiti to to New Orleans in that celebration. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you a little preface to how I got introduced to that. What you're talking about is Miami
Hmm.
Vice. Miami Vice used to have those kind of episodes where
Oh, look at you! You used to watch Miami Vice, huh?
yes, and showing my Gen
I,
X or am I
uh,
X or am I what is it?
I,
Uh,
I I used to be a
V,
big
whatever.
fan of Miami Vice.
Yeah. And when you really think about it, they had the episode with Tubbs, and he was, getting caught up by the voodoo and all that stuff and everything like that. So that's the first time I understood where it came from, along those lines. But as food travels, between countries, what are you saying about that between Haiti and New Orleans?
So New Orleans and Haiti are sisters. Well, Haiti is a country, New Orleans is a city, but they're sister cities.
Hmm.
Okay, so and because they share some not only cross cultural foods, but they also share um, a lot of cross cultural beliefs. Um, Vodou is also celebrated in New Orleans, and that's because mainly of the of the voyage between free Haitian slaves to to New Orleans. And so a couple years ago, and this is how I mean, I'm finding I knew there was always a cross cultural connection, but it wasn't until a couple years ago, I think it was 3 years to this date, that we did the very first, and we call it Gede,
Hmm.
Guede. Okay, so we celebrated the very first Gede festival on November 1st in Haiti, and we had invited a group of New Orleans um, people to come and be part of the event with us
Hmm.
in Haiti, and they were, I mean, they were really soaking it up. They wanted to uh, visit the cemeteries and see how we celebrated the Day of the Dead in Haiti. Um, Everybody is dressed in whites, and there's a lot of drum. I mean, it's really a beautiful ceremony that traveled from Africa to Haiti.
I mean,
Uh,
when you say ceremony though, because initially when someone
it,
says
it's
voodoo, and their ears, they think it's some type of demonic worship. You're not
No, not
speaking
at
it in
all.
that, right? Absolutely.
No, not at all. Not at all. As a matter of fact, voodoo is a system. Is not. It's not even a religion. It's a system of beliefs that that came from Africa. It's and that system of belief is specifically from the region of Benin.
Mm.
That is where a lot of the Caribbean slaves came from, specifically those that came to Haiti.
Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, Great Chef Stephan, Roots Art Soul Podcast, Heritage Radio Network. So, Stephan, you,
So, talking about food, there's also a
yes.
huge, there is a culinary tradition
Hmm.
that is also um, tied to that celebration. It's not everyday food
Well,
that you would normally find on every table in Haiti. So I got to learn quite a bit when we did that festival.
man, oh man. I guess what amazes me, though, is that you can demonize a celebratory thing. It loses all its national steam, goes into something that becomes so commercial, um, and there's no nutritional value that comes out of it, in comparison to it, to the point of there's no nutritional value when you sit there and adults go out and they're, we're out all night partying and stuff like that.
So the very first demonization came from the very famous movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Mm.
And people think, people who don't know, got started to believe that voodoo had something to do with black magic and demonic things, and it's not. And
Mm.
it's not. It's a celebration of the dead. We go to the cemetery. We do dances and drums, and we celebrate those who've passed on. That's basically what it is.
And that's what that's what it should be, and also it's
Who have
speaks
crossed
to,
over.
yeah, and the sacrifice of the earth too. So I think that sometimes gets removed from the conversation, but
Absolutely.
it is definitely about what the
Absolutely. You're
earth.
absolutely right.
That ashes, dust to dust, people returning back to the soil, but the soil absorbing it, people, in that spirit, from my understanding, and then the earth what it gives, for people to be alive in the first place. So it's really good, to get a good understanding to all our listeners, I guess. But as we are, always talking about roots, heart, soul, and that's definitely talking about some soul there. What is, yep, we want to continue this fall season of foodways, that we've been talking about. And we started, basically, in our region up north, you talk about the New York, I talked about Chicago, but, let's pull back a little back south, in this fall vegetable conversation, fall foodways, especially we're about a month out from Thanksgiving. And, there's so many inquiries we're going to have about recipes,
Oh,
especially in the
absolutely.
fall.
Well,
But
you're going to be getting a whole lot of phone calls, buddy.
I mean, this is not only the busy time of the year, cooking in restaurants. It's busy time of the year to answer the phone from every family member asking, "How do you cook this? How do you cook that?" And things like that. But I mean, so now we're into November. We have a lot of the winter lettuces and stuff like that starting. What typically, on your menu at your restaurants do you pull for the fall?
Well, you know, given that I've spent the latter part of the last 15 years mostly in Haiti,
Hmm.
which is a tropical nation, where we have an all around weather, even though there's the rainy season, and then there's a dry season as well. Um, I think in December we get a lot of broccoli and
Mm.
cauliflower in Haiti.
Oh, the crucible.
Def Oh, absolutely. And we also get this is the time of pumpkins.
See, I was just going to
So
ask. You took it right out of my mouth. Oh man, you set me up
this
good.
is
Go
the
ahead.
time of pumpkins, baby.
Right.
This is the time of pumpkins.
So for the soup, right? Though, right. Right. So I mean, what? All right. So this is young pumpkin season, right? Like, so it's a little bit more starchy, or well, like, tell me more about the pumpkins right now. This is so interesting because
So
I'm fascinated.
this is the time of pumpkin.
Mm.
And the variety of pumpkin that used to be that is still grown in Haiti. um, it's almost like well, it's in Spanish it's called calabaza.
Hmm.
Okay. um, and it's pretty round, very meaty type of pumpkin. um, and it started being grown and harvested by the Tainos. So they were the original inhabitant of the Caribbean were planting pumpkins. And you find the same varietal in Jamaica,
Hmm.
in other places in the Caribbean, including
But is that?
including Latin America.
So,
as well.
I mean, let's talk about the outside too. About orange outside, green outside.
No, it's green outside,
You're green. That's right. Okay, and they're not really, huge
and it's
either.
very orange inside.
Right.
Super, super orange.
Right.
And it's very meaty. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a bright, super orange. And when you make that soup, oh man.
Yeah.
And flavor wise, it's also amazing.
So on doing this menu, tasting and stuff like that, and really just using pumpkin right now, and we just have it so simple. We do our version of pickles with red cabbage, and then we have the pumpkin or the butternut, whatever comes in, and it's just simply we're just blanching it salt water, patting everything, sautéing it with just cumin seeds,
Mm.
pumpkin seeds, a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of calabrese chili, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it, and it just gives the, all
Oh
that,
wow.
'cause it's going to be caramelized anyway, naturally, so it's, all the sweetness is going to come. So we're providing that bitter and everything like that to it. So
Well,
I
in
mean,
Haiti, the most popular way of using this pumpkin is in a soup, right?
mm,
But it's also we cook it. We cook. There is a dish that is cooked with rice and pumpkin, and
okay.
it is just downright amazing, man.
So describe that. I mean, because are we putting the pumpkin in the rice when it's cooked that way, or
Yeah,
how?
it's cut up. It's
Mm,
cut up. It's sautéed, and then it's added with the rice, and it's cooked with the rice. So
okay.
you get a little bit of the color that's faded into the rice, but the rice stays, uh, and then you get some bright orange mixed with some white of the rice. It's beautiful.
I mean, that's really great to understand from that. I mean, I've seen it, like in Indian culture, with like cardamom pods and
Hmm.
raisins and things like that. But in this rice, you're talking about what, onions, the pumpkin and everything like that for the rice you're speaking of.
Yes.
Okay.
So onions, some star anise, a little bit of cinnamon stick, um, gets into the rice as well.
But it's still
Um,
savory, right?
oh yeah, it's absolutely savory. It's beautiful too. It's super flavorful and tasty.
Okay. I mean, I think everyone kind of has that version of that. You know what you're talking about?
Uh
I mean,
huh.
I've done it with dried cranberry. You know, rehydrate them in rum, and then saute it with the pumpkin, the flambe it kind of because
Ooh, that sounds good.
yeah. So I mean, that's really good. I mean, there's so many squash coming in the season though right now between the
Oh,
butternut.
absolutely. What do you call squash blossoms,
Yeah, acorn squash.
or acorn squash are in season? The squash flower is in season.
But let me ask you this stuff. Why is it that us chefs, especially when we cook the high end in the high end restaurants, that everyday squash like crooked, yellow crooked neck and zucchini doesn't get there like, you know, they're not hot, hot cuisine, as we would say, you
I
know.
don't know, but zucchini flowers is supposed to be the zucchini flower is supposed to be
Yeah,
something
squash
special.
blossom is zucchini blossom, definitely. Yeah, I mean,
It's supposed to be something special.
stuff it with a little bit of, sausage and, cheese, tempura or fry it. I mean, yeah, I mean, but zucchini though, like,
Do a
I
little
mean,
crab stuffing.
I can't remember the last time I had just regular zucchini on any menu. Um,
Oh, we have that a lot. We have that a lot at my restaurant at home, man. In Haiti, the restaurant in Haiti, a lot of that's a go-to vegetable in our the go-to vegetable in our menu.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, yellow squash either. I just haven't put them
Yellow
on.
squash, um, zucchini. Um, those those are nice on any plate,
You know,
and,
we should just,
and it doesn't take a whole lot to give it flavor.
yeah, we used to take the zucchini on a mandolin, really
Hmm.
thin, like matchsticks, and we made a zucchini slaw with that. So we would take that,
Oh,
a little bit of,
that's nice.
yeah, just beautiful, carrots,
And
a
that's
little bit
something
of
you can
cabbage.
eat raw as well. So
Yeah, it's just raw. Yeah,
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 beautiful slaw. That
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I think it was fish. I'm pretty sure we fried a piece of fish or something like that with that zucchini slaw. No, 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 no. We seared it. We seared bass. It was a bass sandwich. You know,
Yeah, that sounds really good.
and I don't believe. I mean, it's a year-round vegetable, but eggplants. Just thinking about the grocery store where the zucchini and yellow squash are there. And, you don't see a lot of fall and winter recipes for eggplant, but it seems to be so prevalent in the grocery stores when we go.
So I'm gonna share a recipe with you that I grew up eating as a kid.
Mm,
Um, a childhood friend of mine, his mother, um, every so often, once a month, she would make it and would invite me and um, some other friends to come and eat at her house. She used to do this ratatouille with
mhm,
rabbit.
mm. Like braised rabbit or
Yeah.
okay.
So, zucchini, yellow squash, um, eggplant, tomatoes, and the rabbit would be cooking in that it, after it's been, you know, it would braise in that ratatouille.
Wow.
Man,
Okay.
it's a beautiful dish.
I mean, but and you got all that nice. Rabbit to me is so still it's so unsung right now. I mean, we used to, 90s and even to the 2000s, we were all kind of doing rabbit, especially after Keller after French Laundry Cookbook came out, and he talked about rabbit
Hmm.
so much. All us young chefs, were using rabbit, extensively. Doing a saddle, making a roulade, force meat using the kidney and everything to make those beautiful, perfect roulades and
Well,
for all
rabbit
those.
is a huge thing in French cooking. So,
Right. But still, but what I'm saying is that you don't hear anyone talking about they're doing a you know, new dish with rabbit right now. It's just not like kind of hot what we see on the scenes.
hmm, I don't know why, because it's a pretty clean clean meat, man.
I mean, you see it like I've seen it. The inlays of everyone's. You know, if it's not about oxtails, you know, it is. And dining. Um, the North American list of top 50 restaurants came out, so people are talking about that. But I don't hear anyone saying, "Man, that was the best rabbit dish I ever had." Just don't hear it.
Hmm.
Hmm. Maybe it's something we need to get on.
Hmm. You know what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
I see some smoked rabbit in my future.
Oh, most definitely. Most most definitely. I mean,
I
it's
see some
just
smoked rabbit in my future.
I haven't done that in a while. Man, the last time I done it, I know I did a pate. You know, kidney, force meat, all that. You know, got in there, set the whole pot into the smoker, 220, probably 220.
See, this is the kind of stuff that curiosity will 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 uh will go on a tangent and yeah, but that's a dish that I know you would probably bring to a festival.
Oh man, I mean, it's going to be on the secret menu. You know, go on the secret menu. You know, like chef,
That could be a
what are you,
secret menu.
yeah, like, what are
That
you
is
talking about?
definitely a dish you could be bringing to a festival,
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of festival, we got a festival coming up. You know,
and have everybody go.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
really?
right. Hey, you know, I can't go to New York. I can't go to New York without having lamb ribs in my back pocket. You know.
Listen, you've killed that one.
Yeah,
You know,
man, that was
you've killed that one. Now you're expected to bring lamb ribs to New York.
I know, right? Like
Huh?
when you walk into the festival, you point at you the guy. Hey man, I'm just a cook, bro.
Yeah. You the guy.
I'm just a cook, yeah. You know,
You
or the
the
pork,
guy.
or don't forget the pork belly though. You know,
Oh,
that pork belly. We
oh.
were outside over charcoal, or on the streets of
Those
New York.
wings were pretty fire too, bro.
Man, oh my goodness.
Those
Well,
wings were pretty fire too, bro.
yeah.
I gotta tell you, man.
Hey,
Uh, and then those duck wings that you brought to Miami. Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God.
Hey, I tell you, man, all I need is just give me a
You are
little
so
grill.
mean, man. You are so mean, man.
Yeah,
You
just
are
give me a
so
little grill.
mean with the shit that you bring to the table. Okay,
Yeah, man,
you have everybody go, ah.
I know. When I
Did
walk
he
in,
just do that?
the champ is
Did he
here.
just do that? Did he just do that? Did he
Well, the
just do
champ is
that?
here. Hey, if for all our listeners here on Roots Art Soul podcast, if you don't know what Chef Stephan and I are opining about, is the Creole Food Festival. Creole Food Festival is here in Atlanta this
At the
fall.
end of November, 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, 22nd, 23rd. We're actually hosting the media party here on that Thursday at Curiosity, and that's probably almost close to somewhere around the opening 2 weeks of Curiosity as well. So, I mean, it's really great to always be a
And I'm
supporter
going
of
to take
Creole Food
advantage.
Fest.
I'm going to take the opportunity to give a big shout out to all of the chefs who made the event such a success last year in Atlanta. You got V. Harper, Charlie Hatney, Robert Butts. I mean, yo, the lineup was a little crazy.
I mean, what's crazy this year though is at night this year too. So you know, it's
Yes,
going to be a night party.
yes. So we're gonna have a better expectation of hopefully even a bigger turnout than last year.
Well, that's good.
So excited to bring Creole Food Festival back to Atlanta, third year. The success of New York, we got to catch up to New York, man.
Yeah. Well,
1,500 people this year.
they say always shine, always shine.
New York is always big.
Yes, I know. I'm glad. I mean,
Last year, you and I couldn't get off our table last year in New York.
yes, and actually, I think I scared a couple of chefs away. They didn't show up. They didn't want to show up on Sunday, so I took their table. Took their table and cooked again.
You always doing that, man. You're the calm assassin.
Oh
That's
man,
what I call you.
yeah, I'll wait you out. You don't think it's competition.
You are the calm assassin.
If you don't think cooking is competition, wait till you taste some of this food.
I know it's competition.
Right.
I know it's competition. Even though we played, we chefs, we played all cool, like, like it doesn't really matter, but it does.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely matter. I mean, but food's always been competition. I mean, most people, I believe it's November 1st. So we're coming up upon opening for James Beard nomination for restaurants.
Well,
Yeah.
who I've got nominating.
Uh-oh.
I'm nominating somebody.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we won't make the deadline because we're not open for October 1st. But there's plenty of people that I know that are around that are going to be deserving.
I think there's a couple people who are definitely deserving in our realm, but I also think this podcast should be nominated for James Beard.
Oh, it's the Media Awards. Okay. So, I didn't think about that. All right. So, if you want to vote for Roots Heart Soul Podcast on Heritage Radio Network, nominate us for James Beard Award, category of.
I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
They had to create a whole
Almost with
new category,
50 episodes.
though,
There is a category for
yes.
media and podcasts.
That's about a category just for me and you. Like the two guys that act like the Muppet guys in the balcony award, the old curmudgeon awards.
But I also think there is a couple of chefs in the Atlanta area that are well deserving to be at least nominated.
There are, and typically I don't like to comment on, people so close to home. Not that I have any influence, but I just want to make sure that they make everything on their merits. But one person that you and I are very, very fond of, and eating at his restaurant 4 times this year, and he just got by Philadelphia Inquirer. They stated the most important restaurant in Philadelphia right now. That is our friend Chef and Miss Chef Tate over at Honeysuckle in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. And they are well deserving of that.
So, I said, I had to slow down and give all the accolades. I eat there 4 times, Stephan, because I called you after every time I went there to eat.
You did.
And of course, Chef was on the podcast. And I can tell you the theme that impressed me the most was you did not have to look at the menu to understand the story and journey of the food once you took a bite of it.
And I think the marriage of two souls between Sybil and Tate is also an amazing story within itself.
Yes, I would agree.
It's a marriage of culture. It's a marriage of, their story is also worth sharing together. Their story together is a great one, and especially that they've expressed that story through the restaurant as well.
I definitely agree with that. You can see it when you walk in there. You can see it, just an understanding of that there was a team that did this. Not only a husband and wife team, but a team that did this and put this together. And then seeing the evolution of dishes, and then the fact that they're making things like their own sochu and their own miso, and serving items like that, to me, is impressive. It's very impressive. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So next time,
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We got to make it up there. Go see, Chef Omar.
Definitely, and not dismissing that Sybil is a very dear friend of mine who's been who I invited to Haiti during the festivals when we were running the festival in Haiti. So Sybil is an amazing, just an amazing person, and chef.
And chef. Okay.
And chef.
But that food scene there in Philly. It's amazing to me how many places I went to in Philadelphia that I don't believe that people in Philadelphia necessarily knew how much of a gem of food place that it is. Naturally, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, won Beard Awards, well deserved. Talking about Omar, but I don't know if everyone understands the impact on food scene that city makes, especially when you walk around and you eat at these places. And there's people in Philadelphia that even hear, of the places that we're talking about right now.
No, I think Philadelphia is yet to discover honeysuckle.
Well, I
think Philly needs to going up and hurry up, because it's such a beautiful concept, which started as a market, and then they decided to extend it and turn it into a full-blown restaurant. So I think they're well deserving of a James Beard nomination.
I mean, pretty soon. I mean, that if they didn't do it already, they are going to full tasting menu. So I mean, it's really great. I can tell you the dish, from the cornbread to the oysters. Those grilled oysters were unbelievable. The black bread, uh, the burger, and you know, people might look at it and say it's $55, and it probably be the best $55 burger. Man, yeah. You know, and you try to be, you know, nice and elegant, you know, we eating, you know, but it's a burger, you know, so, you know,
Yeah. Trying to stay fancy.
you know,
It's a
they got the right,
$55 burger.
they got the right fat ratio in the beef, so you got a little oil coming down your fingers and that bite of caviar and black truffle. I mean, come on, dude. And then they didn't have the nerve to have a leather sofa right behind me, you know? Hey, go ahead, man. I'll turn the lights on. I like that. You know, what's the alarm code? I'll turn the alarm on when I leave.
And then there's a few more of our there's a few more of our colleagues and friends who I think should be getting a nomination this year. Bud from Chicago.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, definitely, definitely.
You know,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but what, in your opinion, makes you know, a restaurant James Beard worthy?
I think it has to be, well, you know, obviously it's first, it has to tell, I think it has to tell the food and the story sort of have to connect with each other. But I think it's it's the love and passion of of the chef behind the behind the restaurant that brings it all together. Um, and you know, I think honeysuckle does just that.
I mean, but you don't have to be expensive. You know, you don't have to
No,
be
no,
expensive.
no. I don't think expensive means equals a James Beard award, and expensive doesn't equal a Michelin star either.
Mhm.
I think it's it's everything coming together in in harmony that makes that restaurant worthy of of an award, and not only the restaurant, but obviously and ultimately the chef as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. It really just gives a perspective where you know, if you have a good team, a good foundation first. You know, let's say
Good
foundation.
foundation,
Let's say a
a good
foundation.
foundation.
You know, a
Absolutely.
clear understanding of what you want your restaurant to be. Um, I don't necessarily believe that you have to be a farm to table restaurant, but I do believe that you need to be supportive of the community in which your restaurant is in.
That's correct. That's correct.
I would
I'm 100% in agreement with that.
I would say that the other thing is, if you're opening a place to be that, then you're not being sincere to the restaurant or to the process. Um, and then when it comes to service, because regardless of if it's a chef award, it has service is the biggest part of it, expressing,
Service
you know,
is extremely important,
so
and
they
I
have to
think
express the wishes of the.
I think one of the things that we have to differentiate is service and hospitality.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and I think hospitality ties it all together, because hospitality tells the story. Hospitality makes you feel like you're part of the story. It makes you feel like you've been welcomed into a new family. That's what hospitality is.
We're
And
talking
I think,
about. Go ahead.
and I think if we can achieve that, because not many people can have achieved hospitality.
I understand what you're saying. We're talking about, just putting together these training manuals for curiosity, and just understanding like that there is, service is part of hospitality. You know,
Right.
hospitality is not just service, and just explaining to, in writing these manuals that paying having somebody pay $20 for parking in a strip mall parking lot is that's inhospitable before the person even got into the door. When
Absolutely.
what is the purpose of? I mean, that just feels inhospitable. Um, Being open for certain business hours, and because it's slow, you close early. Yeah, that might make business sense, but for that 2, 4, 6 guests that made that trek to come over there, that feels inhospitable. Serving cold food when it's supposed to be hot is inhospitable. So there's a lot of different things that before the guest even gets to the door that can be considered inhospitable, and as well there's just certain nuances that are not hospitable as well. I look at just in our
That
business.
that is a and as a matter of fact, you're talking about putting the training manuals together. So I've been researching training, because there is the manual, but I think teaching hospitality has to be thought differently. It doesn't come from a book.
It certainly, there's framework. I
There's
mean, there's
framework.
right, but I
There's
mean, see,
framework.
and
So
it's
I've been
scary.
working on putting together um, 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 live training modules for hospitality for the restaurant. I've been researching um, different um, different places where I can get, because I think a lot of people, once they see it, once they see it live, once they see it, when it's become visuals to them, then they start to understand what their job becomes.
Well, I mean, nothing worse than walking into a restaurant and that person is distracted on their
And you're
phone,
not and you're not even acknowledged.
and you're not even acknowledged. I mean, it has to be acknowledging the mistake. If we make a
and
mistake,
and acknowledging the mistake. Yes.
yes,
When you make a
let me correct
mistake, you
that
have
for
to
you.
own it.
Let me correct that for you. You know, I mean, it's just those words or those things like that that we really have to find ways to really get people to understand that there's no who more important than knowing the guests you're serving and how you're going to serve them and make your restaurant successful. Yeah. As
Absolutely.
a, I think 4-time nominee, I think it's 4. I can't remember. Well,
It
I
is
had looked
four,
it up.
sir. It
4,
is four, sir.
uh, Katie Button still has me beat. She has the part of the Susan Lucci Award because I think Katie's got 9 and didn't win. I got
Oh
4.
wow.
Um, but still, just, the company that you keep knowing all the winners in a lot of these areas is really great to talk about it. And as voting and everything and nominations are open right now, it's really a good way. If you believe in your restaurant so strongly, make sure that you go to jaysbeer.org and go nominate a restaurant.
Well,
It's really, really a great process to be a
I'm,
part of.
I'm
And make
sure I'm
sure,
I'm sure going to be casting my vote for a few people.
yes, best way to do it. All
I
right,
have
so
this
Todd,
young I have this young guy in Atlanta that deserves one in my opinion. Then there's Philadelphia, and then there's Chicago.
all right.
So
You're getting your skill. You're tipping the skill. You know,
Yeah.
Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, Great Chef Stephan, Roots Heart Soul Podcast, Heritage Radio Network. Chef Stephan, we got about 10 more minutes here on this
Yeah, man.
episode. You know, getting ready for episode 50 next week. I just wanted to say this, you know, for 50, I believe that, you know, there's a couple of guests that we should choose from really quickly to talk about 50. And so we
Okay.
got to circle the wagons after that. But 50 is a special one.
Okay.
I mean, that's almost a full year. You know, I mean, so next one we got to talk.
I'm down for that.
You know, we got to let the world know what's going on and
So
how we.
why don't we do this? Why don't we invite a few people to the cast tomorrow,
Okay,
next week to celebrate 50?
celebrate 50. All right. Yeah.
Let's put a short list together and send them an invitation.
Okay. One thing you know, people say, why do you do a podcast? You know, you're so busy. You know, you know, have this going on, this going that, but there's a different side of this business and different side of the culture and different sides of Roots Heart Soul that we talk about that is important to make sure that people understand the reason why we're doing this because we're telling our story, but you know, I would say probably A plus is we get to tell other people's stories. So you know,
Absolutely.
so 50 has got to be really,
And
really
and we get to share those stories together.
yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, man, the people that we've had on
Mhm.
this podcast, you know, almost 50 episodes, it's been nothing but downright amazing.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. All right, Stefan. So we're going to finish up on this fall thing, you know, to make sure that we get everybody a great understanding of what we're trying to do to understand, you know, this fall closeout. And even so, we're going to do 50 next week, so we won't get into food. But then that following week, we'll get into turkey preparation and, you know,
Oh
breaks
yeah.
and, you know, short
Oh yeah.
ribs and oxtails. But as people are getting ready to start planning, you know, their fall crops or their fall menus or, you know, your household, your fall things, you know, where can people look for value in purchasing right now? You
I
know,
think I think I think they need to go check out co-ops. They need to check out farmers markets. There is still farmers markets available. I think that needs to be, uh, you know, and then go to, and then there are also grocery stores that make it a point um, to dealing with local farmers as well.
mm, yeah,
And,
I, I,
and
I
I
agree with you.
and I think that's where we need to start. And listen, if you're in Atlanta, wherever you are in around the United States or around the world, why not support first something that is grown in your area, in your state, in your neck of the woods, instead of buying something that has traveled, you know, miles
Yeah.
and miles to get there.
Yes, you know, more than 500 is a travel. You know, that's not considered. I mean, it's not really considered. It's regional. Is that local? No. So if we say 100 miles is local, you know, um, and then anything outside of 100 is regional, and then anything outside of 500 is national.
Right.
Kind of the rules. You
So,
know, one
so
thing that I think that people that can do though, is, um, especially when it comes to proteins, is buy whole animals, you know, and or whole pieces of meat, and at your grocery store, have them butcher it for you. There is a different cost in buying, you know, a whole piece of meat and having it, you know, having it broken down than it is buying the steak already cut. Or even like chicken, you know, buy the whole chicken. You know, there's so many parts on that chicken that, you know, can be eaten, as well as
absolutely,
use the bones for soup. You know,
absolutely,
there's
absolutely.
no
And I think
excuse
I
not to be
think
able to make chicken broth.
I
You
think
know,
I think a whole chicken is much more fun than a bunch of pieces cut up, anyways.
yes. I mean, you get so much more flavor out of it. And then, if you roast a chicken, you save it, just add some water over it, put it on overnight, you got roasted chicken stock. If it's just a boiled chicken, save it. The carcass, you got, just white chicken stock. And then, you're already making a pathway, you're cooking and you're saving, money. I mean, every dollar adds up. Yeah.
So yes, and you know what I had a couple of days ago? My aunt, who's a big organic, person,
Right.
came in with some veal short ribs
Oh, wow.
to the house.
Yes.
So, but it's local.
Yeah,
Vermont,
Vermont. That makes sense.
veal short ribs.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a bear spice rub on the short rib.
Why are you talking dirty, man? You can't be talking dirty to people like that. Yeah.
Well, you know how I am, man.
Right.
You know how I am.
You know what's interesting? We had some people here Saturday, just menu tasting and stuff like that, and the baby back rib. We're using baby back ribs here, for curiosity. So one of the smaller rib because we actually presenting it, as we were, trying to do a Michelin star restaurant, something like that, playing it elegantly. But the baked beans, people was like, "This is crazy how good these baked beans are." And actually, we did not use any white beans. I use Crowder peas, in there, or I've made them with Sea Island red peas, and things like that. So there's a lot of things in the store though that people, the can of black eyed peas is $1.99, if you have to buy a can, and then the can of Crowder peas, a less known piece, $1.29, and then that Crowder pea has so much flavor, that you can just look at savings that way by just you can go and try something new and find savings that has even more flavor than what you're originally looking at. I mean, to me, that's what makes it so exciting to be able to cook at home and trying to find a very difficult silver lining in this shutdown. And shout out to all the federal workers who are not getting paid. I mean, you're talking about raising hell. And shout out to Wholesome Wave, who's finding ways to work with people with SNAP benefits who are don't have enough money to get food on their table. That it's equally responsible.
That's a tough conversation, man.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so passionate about telling people, hey, if you have the money, buy the whole chicken. Use all the parts and use that neck and the bones to make you beautiful chicken stock. You can, then you can next day just cook your pasta in that chicken stock, and just add some butter and some cheese to it. Now you got a whole meal. You got 2 meals out of that one piece of chicken or that one whole bird. I started talking about chicken and you started talking about short ribs. And maybe, Tuesday, on a Taco Tuesday night, and it's like 8:00. The sun goes down a lot earlier now.
I'm getting flashbacks of my andouille sausage and apple stuffed Cornish hen.
Cornish hen. I mean, Cornish hen to me is all I have reference for all the birds, but Cornish hen to me is the most flavorful. Just salt, pepper, sear in the pan. It is the most flavorful bird there is.
Yeah, I'm getting flashback, man.
I mean, I put it. I think what page is on in the book. But I mean, the Cornish hen is in there, and
apples, and andouille sausage. Then you do a little épice butter. Oh, dude. Dude.
Rice and no rice.
Oh yeah.
You can do that. You can do that pumpkin rice that you were talking about earlier.
Pumpkin rice, yeah. On the side as an accompaniment, absolutely.
Oh wow! All right, Stephan. Go ahead, take us on out of here, my friend.
Hungry now. The hour is already upon us.
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again. we want to wish you a happy Halloween for those who celebrate Halloween. Happy Dia de los Muertes. Happy Day of the Dead. And then of course, Thanksgiving is coming close. So again, we want to tell you, celebrate each other, celebrate family, and stay safe, be safe, keep those kids safe, especially on Halloween. Let's not them overdo it on candies, and we will see you next Tuesday for another episode.
Number 50.
Number 50.
Number 50 episode of Roots Art Show podcast.
So I'll have to get some cupcakes, a bottle of rum, and some other stuff.
All right. And for all those kids that might get an apple put in their bag, just bring them all up here to me. I'm doing some menu testing. We'll sit around. We'll do something nice with those apples, and we'll go find the people that gave them to you. You're listening to Roots Heart Soul podcast on
the Heritage Radio Network. We bid you good night. See y'all next week.